Welcome back, my music friends. This week in the breathing gym, we're going to continue to focus on steady beat and keeping track of those beats by counting while we breathe. I also want us to keep focusing on lung capacity. So we want to make sure that if we're breathing in, we're breathing in all the air we possibly can, and then breathing all of that air out until we're completely empty, following that steady beat. Our metronome is set to 72 beats a minute, so let's begin with 4 in, 4 out. 1, 2, ready, begin. In, out. In, out. Count on your own. And relax. Take a second to shake the body out and get ready for 6 in, 6 out. Remember, 3 should be our halfway point. Pay attention to what it feels like to be completely empty. Feel what it feels like to be halfway full. And pay attention to what it feels like to be completely full. 6 in, 6 out. 3 is our halfway point. 1, 2, ready, go. Breathe in, out. In, out. And count on your own. And relax. Shake it out again. Get rid of that tension that you feel in your body. Right now I've got a big old knot stuck right in my left shoulder, so I'm trying to get that to release. All right, last one. 8 in, 8 out. 4 is our halfway point. Make sure you're keeping track of all those beats. And again, concentrate on lung capacity. What does it feel like when you're empty? What does it feel like halfway? And what does it feel like when you're all the way full? Whatever that number is. All right, 8 in, 8 out. Here we go. 1, 2, slow the air. In. And out. In. And out. Count on your own. Take a big breath in through your nose and loud sigh out. Ah! And shake out the body. Shake out the tension. Move the neck gently. Shake out your shoulders. Shake out the arms and the wrist and the fingers. Shake out the waist and the hips. Shake out your legs. Shake out your ankles and your toes. And let's get ready for some Rhythm Bible. 2 weeks ago, we learned exercise number 4, quarter notes and quarter rests. We learned that we either say ta on each note or we count them using a number system. So let's do that right now, starting with ta. 1, 2, ready, begin. Ta, 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 ta. Did you remember to make a silence on the rest? If you didn't, you can try again when we count these out. So counting is pretty easy with quarter notes. The first quarter note is quarter note number 1. The next one is quarter note number 2. The next one is number 3. And the last one is number 4. Continue that pattern. Remember, don't say anything on that last rest. Here we go. Let's count using the numbers. Exercise number 4. 1, 2, ready, count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Last week, we learned exercise number 2, the half note and half rest. We learned that the half note gets 2 beats of sound and the half rest gets 2 beats of silence. And we have to really pay attention to what that half rest looks like. We have the line that the rest is on, and then the box part of that rest sits on top of the line, much like the box section of my half rest hat sits on top of the brim. So when we have a rest that looks like a hat, then we know we have a half rest. Counting half notes, we can say ta, right? 2 beats of sound. Ta. So say ta every time you see a half note. Give 2 beats of silence by pumping your hands twice whenever we see a half rest. Let's do that together. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Now, the counting of half notes. The first half note is going to be starting on beat number 1. And because it's 2 beats long, it plays or sounds through beat number 2. So draw that arrow. That means the next half note starts on beat 3. Why? Because beat 1 and 2 are taking up here. That means this is beat 3. And because the half note makes sound through beat number 4, we draw that arrow. Okay? This half rest starts on beat number 1, but we don't draw anything there because we're not making any sound. The half rest is silent through beats 1 and 2, which means this half note starts on beat 3. This is beats 1 and 2, which are silent. This starts on beat 3. Just like this half note that starts on beat 3, it plays through beat number 4. Okay, next measure. This half note starts on beat number 1. It's 2 beats long, so it plays through beat number 2. This half rest starts on beat 3, but we don't write anything because we're silent. This half note starts on beat number 1. It sounds through beat number 2. And this half note starts on beat 3, and it sounds through beat number 4. So let's try counting using the numbers, and you can use your hands to keep track of the silent rest. Let's count. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3. This week, we learn the whole note and whole rest. If you look at a whole note, it looks a lot like a half note, but the stem is, the stem is no longer there. A whole note gets its name because it makes sound through the whole measure. So when we count a whole note, we need to make 4 beats of sound. Kindergarten through 2nd grade, you're going to say ta, ah, ah, ah. Say that with me. Ready? Go. Ta, ah, ah, ah. Now, blend those sounds together. Listen. Ta. Your turn. Ready? Go. Ta. All right. The whole rest looks a lot like a half rest, but look where it is on the line. We said a half note sits on top of the line like the hat sits on top of the brim. A whole rest is upside down. So we have the line, and then the box on the bottom is a lot like the hole that we now see in my hat. Or it looks like a hole in the ground. So if we have a rest that looks like a hole in the ground, then we know we have a whole rest. The whole rest gets its name because it makes it makes silence throughout the whole measure. So we have to keep track of 4 beats of silence. What do you think we're going to do? Yeah, we're going to pulse our hands 4 times. So, ta. Let's say this rhythm with our metronome. 1, 2, ready, begin. Ta. Ta. You'll start to notice that it's a lot like the breathing gym. We have to keep track of those beats as we make that long sound. Let's try it one more time using ta. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta. Ta. Now counting whole notes is super easy. The whole note starts on beat number 1. So we draw a number 1 underneath it. It makes sound for 4 whole beats. So it makes sound through beat number 1, through beat number 2, through beat number 3, and through beat number 4. This whole rest starts on beat number 1. But we don't say anything because it's silent. And we must be silent for 4 whole beats. The next whole note starts on beat number 1. And it makes sound through all 4 beats. And again, this whole rest starts on beat 1 and it is completely silent through those 4 beats. So as you're thinking the numbers in your mind and making the sound, you're going to start the sound on beat 1, then you're going to stop the sound on beat 1. Start the sound on 1, stop the sound on 1. Let's try it together. 1, 2, counting, go. 1, 1. How did you do? Did you make any mistakes? Let's try it one more time. I'll track the rhythm for you. You say the numbers. 1, 2, ready, go. We now know quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. Next week, we're going to start mixing them together to create more interesting rhythms than just 1 note value per line. So if you are having any questions over those 3 note values, come visit me during office hours so we can practice them together. Until then, let's move on to our next lesson. There are many ways that we can learn about other cultures from around the world. My 2 favorite ways to experience other people's cultures is to sample their food and to sing their music. My challenge for you today is to see if you can sing the song Laredo in Spanish. This song has 2 different parts, the melody and the harmony. The melody sounds like this. Ya me voy para Laredo, mi bien, te vengo a decir adios. And the harmony sounds like this. Ya me voy para Laredo, mi bien, te vengo a decir adios. When we stack the melody on top of the harmony, our song begins to sound like this. Ya me voy para Laredo, mi bien, te vengo a decir adios. Our learning target is, I can sing a song in a different language. Our success criteria is, I know I am successful when I am able to sing this song in Spanish. Let's begin with the main melody. First, listen to the Spanish words and follow along with the words behind me. Then, sing the words with the children in the recording.
This is the pronunciation practice for Laredo, a song from Mexico about leaving home and loved ones behind. Listen as I sing the Spanish words, then repeat them with the students on the recording. Melody. Verse 1. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Te vengo a decir adiós. Te vengo a decir adiós. Ya me voy para el Laredo, Verse 2. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Abre mi pecho y verás. Abre mi pecho y verás. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Abre mi pecho y verás. Abre mi pecho y verás. Lo mucho que yo te quiero, mi bien. Lo mucho que yo te quiero, mi bien. Y el mal pago que me das. Y el mal pago que me das. Lo mucho que yo te quiero, mi bien. Lo mucho que yo te quiero, mi bien. Y el mal pago que me das. Y el mal pago que me das.
How did you do? This time, let's try singing through the harmony. The words are going to be exactly the same, but the pitches that you sing will be different. Listen very carefully to the sounds of the notes in the harmony.
This is the pronunciation practice for Laredo, a song from Mexico about leaving home and loved ones behind. Listen as I sing the Spanish words, then repeat them with the students on the recording. Harmony. Verse 1. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Te vengo a decir adiós. Te vengo a decir adiós. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Ya me voy para el Laredo, mi bien. Te vengo a decir adiós. Te vengo a decir adiós. De allá te mando decir mi bien. De allá te mando decir mi bien. Como se mancuernan dos. Como se mancuernan dos. De allá te mando decir mi bien. De allá te mando decir mi bien. Como se mancuernan dos. Como se mancuernan dos. Verse 2. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien. Abre mi pecho y verás. Abre mi pecho y verás. Toma esa llavita de oro, mi bien.
had a chance to practice the Spanish words twice, it's time to see if you can sing the song at full speed. You can choose whether you sing the melody or the harmony, whichever one is easiest for you. Next week, we're going to take this song and we're going to add instruments to it. So look around your house and try to find a bass drum, a guiro, and some maracas. Okay, so most of you probably don't have any of these things at home, and that's okay. I have a plan. We can dig around the house and find all sorts of good stuff to use as instruments, like old soup cans. We can take the same can and put dry beans, rice, or unpopped popcorn and use it as a shaker. We'll come up with some ideas next week. Also, it's time to start cleaning the dust off our soprano recorders because we're going to use those next week as well. If you don't have a soprano recorder, you can play a piano, a keyboard, or I'll show you the things that you need to learn on the Musica virtual piano. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit of Spanish in our Mexican folk song. When you're done with this lesson, make sure to head back to your seesaw and click on that green check mark to complete this activity. I look forward to adding more to this song with you next week. Until then, take care, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.